And then a whole bunch of drowns and Squidwards and stuff start spawning. I was so scared. I quickly put all my stuff away just in case I died, didn't want to lose anything, and then went straight to battle. I knocked one of the Squidwards off and I fought the other, and he left me at 1 heart, and I thought I was gonna die right there. I quickly ate up to heal up, and I fought these drowns. For some reason they weren't attacking me, which was really nice. Then I got attacked by 2 more drowns. They both had tridents and I killed them both, and one luckily dropped their trident. And this was my first ever trident on Minecraft. I was so excited. I thought I looked pretty sick with it, but this is the aftermath after the back-to-back intense battle. Once I had enough blocks to spend the rest of the night just making my mob spawner. And of course it wouldn't be a 100 days video if I didn't get attacked by dinosaurs. And I also didn't have any armor, so they would do so much damage to me and I could not aim. So it took me a pretty long time to kill these guys. One of the phantoms did drop their phantom membrane though, so this will be really helpful to make some slow falling potions when I kill the ender dragon. And I just realized what I'm gonna do with the mob loot, but I guess I'm a hoarder and I'm gonna keep it anyways. After a day of grinding, I realized it was getting a little bit slower, so I built up to check what was going on, and this is what I found. I'm just playing, but I got a whole bunch of resources again, and I made my way up. And I thought that putting a slab on every other block would stop the spiders from spawning because they're 2 blocks. Yeah, only an archaeologist like me would know that room, and I had no idea how it got there. So I looked at my dog, and he looked a little bit guilty. I then replanted all my trees, and I realized I was pretty low, and I got a full durability trident. And I also got 2 buckets of fish, which was more important. I then put him in my little swimming pool, and now my turtles had some company. A couple of blocks later, I got an upgrade, and I was really excited for this because the water phase was so bad. And then I got the jungle phase, which gave me a couple parrots, and they were pretty awesome. I tamed one and I made him twerk a little bit. And now my best friend had another friend, a bird. I'm gonna name the bird William. Then I went straight back to mining, and then these guys spawned, and I don't even know them. Scary. I didn't have any armor, so I was really scared, and I could not aim because they're just so little. I then decided to get a bow and arrow because I thought for some reason it would be easier to shoot these guys in midair than hit them with the sword. It makes total sense. I know, I calculated it. Alright, I then got an ocelot or a cat. I tried to find some fish to tame it and only had 1, so for some reason I thought it would work, and obviously it didn't, so I had to kill the 2 fishes I had. It was kind of sad too because they were like kind of making out when I killed them. And then I accidentally knocked off George. Luckily he landed in the water and he was swimming up, so I tried helping him. I then fed the cat 2 fishes and it didn't work, so I tried feeding him some tropical fish, but he's just a picky eater, so he wouldn't eat it. So instead of wasting it, I tried feeding it to my polar bear, and he started dancing for me. Look at him go. I then went back to mining and I got a second polar bear. Oh wait, that's not a polar bear. That's a panda. And I really didn't know what to do with this big ass guy, so I just threw him down here and aimed an arrow at his head. I'm not sure why. Then these 2 witches spawned, and let me tell you, I've had the worst experiences with these witches, man. They are so annoying. I started shooting arrows at them, and one threw a instant damage at me, and he left me at half a heart. He then threw a slowness potion at me, and luckily he missed me, but like, bruh. Why guess what? These guys just spawned just to annoy me, man. And with my godly aim, I killed one of them, and I ended up killing the second one with my godly aim. Yeah, never mind, I take that back. My aim is actually poo. And just when I thought it was all over, a monster party. And having the block mowed at me made me feel even more uncomfortable. And at this point, I had no idea what to do. All of these guys fly, they're all really small, and I had nowhere to go. I was just running around panicking. And to make it worse, like I said, these witches are so annoying. The witch threw a slowness potion at me and then a poison. And right here, I was really panicking. And I tried working, and for some reason, I tried building up, and I forgot they could totally fly, and I ended up dying. But dying actually helps, because these guys stopped aggroing me, and now I can just shoot them out of the sky without them attacking me. Then I quickly killed this witch because I literally hate witches. My girlfriend. And then the next morning, of course they spawned again, but damn, it looked like I had aimbot right there. And of course the witches spawn again. These guys just won't stop spawning and annoying me. I just want to mine in peace, man. I then got some high ground, hoping that they're apart. Finally, once I killed them both, I got 2 diamonds, and I kept healing my parrot. Poor, I think his name is William. Yeah, I'm a great owner. I then placed the remains of William in an item frame to honor him, and even the other parrot knew what happened. He flew to me, looked at me in disgust, and flew away. Now that is probably the saddest thing I've ever seen on a block game. And then these 2 witches spawned, and I was so fed up. And the second I dropped my shield, they both threw poison potions at me. And this time, I was gonna show them who's boss. Bruh, like why, man, why? I ended up punching him off the edge. How was I managed to kill him with a fist but not a bow and arrow? I then grabbed all my items and I thought I was missing something, so I went to check the trees and... I'm actually crying. I was so upset. I literally got humiliated live on YouTube by big-nosed, unibrowed, ugly-looking ass villagers, man. I then made a Spartan hole, and I was really hoping this would help me with the mobs. I then went to make some more slabs. I grabbed some wood, and I made 32 buttons. I was upset. I then placed them all over the floor to remind me how stupid I am for the rest of this entire video. I then decorated my Spartan hole a little bit, and there it is. And now we wait for a mob, and the second I turn around, guess what spawned? This freaking unibrow looking ass villager. I then knocked him into the hole, and it worked perfectly. His brother then spawned, and I punched him to the hole, and wow, this is probably the best idea I've ever had. I then got one of those love chest things, and then a couple blocks later, I got an emerald ore, and I was starting to really like this phase 6. It can't get any better, right? Then I got this diamond, and of course, a fox spawned, and he just finessed my diamond. He just wouldn't give it to me, so I had to teach him the hard way and kill him. I hope that fox learned his lesson, even though he's kind of dead. And as I was casually mining, this guy spawned, and wow, I got my first villager. Good news is on the way, boys. That means I can start trading soon. So I quickly got him in a boat, and I trapped him in a fence cage, and there we go. Now I'm just praying for a second villager. And I spent the rest of day 40 with this guy. Yeah, I was not happy. And then on day 49 to 50, I expanded my island. I made this huge area for my farms. I planted a butt ton of wheat, and then I put a whole bunch of sand down. It's good to have, but it does come in handy when I plant some carrots for my villagers. I then planted a whole bunch of bamboo, and this will give me a good source of sticks. Therefore, I can trade for emeralds. Now I'm just praying for my second villager. So on day 51, I went right back to mining in hopes for a second villager. As I was mining, I got my second trident, and then, speak of the devil, my boy Bob the villager spawned, and this guy was so reluctant. He was starting to annoy me. He kept running around my entire base. I kid you not, he literally touched every block on my island. I finally trapped him. I cleared all the trees and all the dirt to make some room for my villager breeder. I then went right to work for the next 3 days making my slave center. I mean my villager breeder. I went to go make some fences, and then bro, why does this happen to me? I fell through the smallest hole on my entire island. I was so upset, I just stood there looking at my screen. There was steam coming out of my ears, man. I was so mad. I then made some more fences and went right back to work, trying to ignore what just happened. I then planted all my carrots, and I got both of my villagers in captivity. Hopefully these two guys are compatible. I mean, one guy, one girl. Or it could be, never mind. Let's not go there. I then made a little waterway or a transport area to bring those baby villagers to another place. I threw the beds down, and now it's a waiting game, watching these two lovebirds fall in love in the sunset. While I wait for the villagers to make a baby, I decide to spend the next 2 days mining. Here are my mining highlights. I got a chest full of emerald. I got another mining upgrade, and it was the nether phase, which means a lot of mobs, and these piglins started attacking me, and they chased me all around my base. I managed to quickly block them off. I got some high ground, and I managed to kill them off. Thank God. I also got my first ancient debris. I made my first diamond pickaxe, and I mined it up. I then got attacked by 2 hoglins, and this was probably the scariest moment of my life. I then ran through this little crack, and I was like, haha, you can't touch me now. Oh, never mind. And then the 2 hoglins stopped attacking me. Least blazes. I'm so happy my entire island is not made out of wood. Yup, I'm not really liking this nether phase anymore. That was the most stressful 2 days I've ever experienced. My villager still hasn't made a baby yet, so I kept mining, and I got a lava bucket on day 58 on the blazes, and it started burning. My villager still hasn't made a baby yet with his prismarine blocks. I have no idea why. The blocks were just sitting there, and I decided to use a different block, and I mined all the way until sunrise. Once my pickaxe broke, I ended off with 3.5 stacks of cobblestone. Then on day 60, I went to check on my villagers, and they still haven't made a baby yet. Maybe both of them were guys. Every time they would try to breed and make love, these clouds would always pop up. I have no idea what it means, just weren't compatible with each other. Their Tinder profile just did not match. So I did what any logical person would do, and instead of searching out what the problem is, I decided on him and fed him a golden apple, just to cure him back to life. I built another home for them, and I skipped this entire building process, but I made a huge window just so I can watch them make love, you know, violate their privacy. Villagers don't have rights. right? Unless I'm wrong. I then placed down their bed so they have some place to sleep, mine for the rest of the day. And then I got jump scared, but they're dying. But for some reason, these achievements sound like so majestic. That's a big word. I don't even know why that came out of my mouth. But anyways, I just traded with the villagers, hoping it'll convince them this bad in my life. And then just scared me. I turned around and I saw my entire island on fire. I quickly extinguished all the fires, and I was praying there was not one I missed. It probably wasn't a good idea to make everything out of wood. And I gas shot his fireball and I shot it right back to him and I killed him. That was kind of sick. Then I saw all these fireballs coming at me and I already knew my villager breeder was going to be burned to the ground. I quickly extinguished all the fires I saw. I tried killing these blazes as fast as I can.